Hey guys, it's Sean with Backwoods Fab Creations. Just showing you a little bit of artwork I've done. It's going to be kind of a elk skull. Slowly working on it. It's a nice rack. Pretty fat. Anyway, I just want to let you know that I'm using this here old $200 Miller 330 ABP. It's a nice machine for what it is. I haven't found a lot of videos online. Kind of show much of them except a couple guys like arc welding with them, but just a little quick overview of how I set mine up. It's pretty simple. This is your TIG or stick switch. I don't do a lot of stick welding, so it just sits like that. I don't really use a lot of high frequency either. I've heard that it can kind of screw up computers and things like that, so I've never really used it, but if you do, you want to gap these at 8 thousandths, and that's what that says right there. Just your spark gap, that's what they're talking about. I just run these around on a wire brush, clean them up. I don't do any filing on them or anything, set them at 8. This machine is kind of cool versus the Airco, because it kind of tells you your post flow, depending on the tungsten size you're using. I'm running 3/32, but I buy my own argon, so I just deal with it about 5-second post flow. I guess I could run it up here, but I hate hearing the gas run, so I leave it about 5, which on here it says 1/16. It seems to keep my tungsten clean. I don't mess with the high frequency much on this. For aluminum, I've heard that you can, jump this high frequency up to 100, but I haven't really done a lot of aluminum with this machine particularly, but let's see. Other basic cool things about these machines is that the solenoids here, your gas and your water, are swappable. So I had issues with my gas solenoid leaking gas, and so I tried to clean it, but the little rubber gasket in there was kind of messed up, so it kept leaking. So I just swapped them. So this is my old gas solenoid. It's all cleaned up. But I took the water solenoid apart, cleaned it. It seems to hold gas. I've got a slow leak somewhere. Could be from that, but it's not fast enough that I'm worried about it. Some of them have this little 115 outlet. I always plug my cooler in just to the wall separately. Just less stuff to have to deal with. These little caps I've heard leak at times when you're running your AC and high frequency, but I don't do a lot of that yet, so I haven't had them leak. They seem to be in pretty good shape. We found them online. They're pretty spendy, but overly not too bad if you're doing a lot of welding. That's pretty much it. They're pretty basic machines. I run mine in the middle setting here, 20 to 230 amps. DC straight for TIG. I've got my remote hooked up just to a little foot pedal. On this machine I run the foot pedal with the switch. On my Airco, same machine, a lot nicer. I run a big, like 400 amp CK torch for heavy stuff, but I run this little thumb switch. It doesn't really do anything with the heat, but it turns the gas on and off. So I've got it wired to a different switch, but anyway. Just wanted to make a little quick video on these. I'm going to do some welding with them here in part 2. I don't think I'm missing anything here. I don't really do a lot with the start adjustment. I kind of think that might be for high frequency and stick, but we'll play with it on another video and see. Pretty much all I've done with this machine is steel. Here's your high frequency start for steel, continuous for aluminum, or off for lift start. That's all I really do is lift start. A couple of my buddies have these same welders. They do a really good job. The nice thing about them is the duty cycle rocks. You can run these things hot all day, high amps, and never heard a thing. The only thing I've ever heard of us having issues with so far is one of these fuses was blown, these little guys, and we replaced it and everything was fine. So part 2, I will fire this thing up. I've got a little cooler here. It's hooked up. It's nice and quiet versus the other older style that kind of drives you nuts, but this one works really good. It's not too noisy. got that hooked up to this on a wet torch. This is all in a single car garage, so everything's kind of crammed in here, but little Hilly Arc wet torch 20. It's really nice to do if you're getting into tight spots or just want to make some creative welds. So I've got this going on that I'm going to probably put some videos on. That rack. I've got a couple other projects I need to get going, so I'm just going to kind of start a series using this machine since I haven't found any videos on there using this machine. I think it'd be kind of good for everybody to kind of see how for a couple $100 you can get a TIG machine, stick machine that'll do a lot. And I manually pulse my pedal a lot when I'm working with stainless, so I'll get some stuff on that too. Anyway, first video, part 1. See you guys later.